Hello, YouTube friends, YouTube subbies, my online community. As you all know, I very much so hate DIY projects. I made a video recently of home decor DIYs you should not do to your home. But if you follow me on Instagram at Wasslepa, I posted saying for people to send me their best or worst or whatever home decor DIYs so I can review them. And I will say I have come to like a lot more home decor DIYs. A lot of you are very creative and have really good ideas that aren't like these Pinterest, TikTok, crafty DIYs. These are good DIY projects. I got a lot of people who sent me fun DIY projects they did around their house. So I thought today, you subscribers, my subbies, we would review your home decor DIY projects. And I'm impressed. I really am. So we're just going to preface that. And I feel like usually I hate things. So this is fun for me. Or maybe I'm just in a good mood. We don't know. Really quickly, one of you pointed out this book in the bookshelf called The Official Preppy Handbook. And I asked my mom about this. I was like, Mom, what is this book? And she was like, Paige, this was my Bible in college. And it's basically like how to dress preppy. But yeah, I guess Sue. Oh no. We'll put that back. Let's get started on today's video of reviewing my subscribers' home decor DIY projects. I wanted to start off with this project because I think it is super easy to pick up the skill of sewing. If you have a sewing machine or use your mom's or whatever, you can sew your own pillows out of old fabric. I've actually sewn my own pillows before. I sewed these red and white stripe ones when I lived in Los Angeles, actually, years ago. I don't know what happened to that pillow, but I do think sewing your own pillows is fun. And I really like this like back green one, the green plaid one. I feel like if you have a fun fabric to use, why not sew your own pillows? I also think it's really easy to reupholster things. Well, specific things, not everything. You can't reupholster a sofa on your own unless you have that skill. But if you have a simple chair that you can easily reupholster, just take off the back, take off the bottom and staple it. So I do like what they did with this chair. Am I the biggest fan of this lime green fabric? I don't know, but it does look better than the before. And I also like when people reupholster their own furniture. If you do it right, it's kind of tough with like really intricate, detailed furniture pieces, but like a stool or a chair is pretty easy. You just need a staple gun. This person bought an IKEA shelf, a very cheap IKEA shelf that's made of metal, and painted it. And I think painting metal looks a lot better than painting wood. If you thrift something that's metal that's not in great shape, or just buying a metal shelf from IKEA or Walmart or whatever, and then buying spray paint, I think that's a really easy way to add like a fun color to your shelving unit. And I think it's really good to do, on metal. Painting wood like a lime green just has a different feel than painting metal. So this is nice. This person made a DIY coffee table out of old pallets, and she did say that she regrets it. So that is good because this is the most like typical DIY project from years ago, and I'm not a fan. I also don't like when wood like goes like that, you know, the chevron, the herringbone that everyone got mad at me about. I'm not a big fan of that, but yeah, I wouldn't say this is my favorite project. I think the use of plywood can get a little tricky. I think if you want to use raw wood, you just have to make sure it's something like this and not like a builder's plywood. Because I don't know, it doesn't always turn out the best. I got a lot of submissions of people doing DIY shelves. And I think that's one of the easiest ways to make yourself a giant shelving unit without spending a lot of money. This person bought like those bracket things off of Amazon. I think that's what those are. And then you like attach the hooks to the back of the shelves. I don't know. DIY shelves are so easy. I did this in my kitchen. My dad and I got this wood from Home Depot and I just bought some brackets off Etsy, and it's so much cheaper than buying like a full wall shelf unit from, you know, some expensive online site. But I really do love how this turned out. I also love when people frame like a doorway or a window or just like different architecture pieces in their home. I like when they frame it with shelves. I think that's really unique. So I like this. This was a pretty viral DIY trend on TikTok, I feel like, where you like made your own ceramic type vase. You took an old vase and then you put like flour in your paint or something, and then it makes it like a unique ceramic vase. I mean, I wouldn't say this is the best DIY I've ever come across. I think you could just buy a ceramic vase or go thrift one instead of making one, but it obviously looks better than the before. I don't hate it. I don't know. I just have a weird thing where like if I make something that looks crafty, I can't get it out of my head that it's cheap. Like I don't want it in my space. I don't know. I'm just picky, I guess. I don't know. I thought this DIY lampshade was so clever. I looked it up and there are some tutorials on how to make this, but these types of lampshades are really expensive and sometimes I can't find them in like a specific pattern I want. I do think that this is such a fun do-it-yourself project and I really like how it turned out. This person said that they thrifted the lampshade and the base and then just got their own fabric and like pleated it onto the lamp. It feels kind of tricky, but it also feels very doable if you just follow the directions. I also weirdly like this type of setup for organization. I especially like it in a garage. I think it looks really cool. I forget what this type of board is called, where you have like the little holes and you have the metal things and then you can like organize all of your stuff on it. This person did it in their kitchen, and I think it's really smart if that's your style to have one of these little boards in your kitchen for your stuff if you live in a small space. I don't know. I like it. It kind of like looks like an art piece. And she painted it, which is nice. If you don't follow Brady Tolbert on Instagram, I'm going to link his Instagram down below. He is a interior designer. He used to work for Emily Henderson, and I think now he works for Bobby Burke. He has really cool style and also has his own projects that he works on. I think he also was a prop stylist for some time. I think he just dabbles in all the areas of interior design, but he does have really good DIY projects. I remember when this DIY headboard came out, I was like, that is such a good idea. That honestly inspired me to make my own headboard. Mine was not as luxurious as his. I went and bought a random headboard off of Facebook Marketplace, and then I got some cheap fabric and I stapled it, but his is a little bit more intricate and I like it. I think making your own headboard, anything reupholstery, I think you can do and it won't look crafty as long as you do it right. Brady is my internet friend. We've been friends via Instagram for a while. We're in the same industry, so we know each other. But I don't think I've ever met him in person. Brady, if you're watching, have we ever met in person? I don't think we have. Let's get drinks. But anyways, another project that I really like that Brady did is this TV cabinet. I am all for covering your TV and whatnot, but sometimes I feel like covering the TV can look worse. People who put like weird art over it, or I don't know, sometimes I think we're getting a little too creative with trying to cover the TV that I'd rather just see the TV. But this is one project that I have seen that I actually really love what he did. He basically thrifted this old cabinet and then made the accordion doors to hide it. It's like hide your TV within a cabinet and then create a way to have it covered by a door. People are obsessed with covering their TVs now, and I like that, but I don't know, sometimes it just looks worse to me. Brady also did these black and white peel and stick floor tiles. I think It looks amazing, especially if you don't love the floor that you have. Why not throw in some peel and stick floor tiles? I think brands have come such a long way with what they can offer for like rental friendly upgrades, like peel and stick tile or backsplash or even like countertops. I mean, wallpaper, you can kind of get it all, but you just need to make sure you do it right and it's not like in a weird spot, or if it looks cheap. I think that can be kind of weird, but he did such a good job. I mean, they even have peel and stick like 3D subway tile now. It's pretty crazy, but really like how this flooring turned out. I thought this DIY was super interesting as well. It looks like a general table that someone just thrifted, but she actually thrifted 2 tables, one with an amazing tabletop and one with a good base. And then however she did it, screwed it in or glued it or whatever she did to make her own custom table. And that is such a good idea because I feel like a lot of the time I will find a table on Facebook Marketplace where I really like the stone or whatever it is on the top, the tabletop, and I don't like the base, but why not just take 2 different tables? Done. This person replaced their outdated sink cabinet with a pedestal sink. And listen, if you need the storage, that makes sense to keep it. But I do think the pedestal sink looks really nice. And this is definitely a project I think you could do on your own. I mean, I replaced my sink at my Chicago place and I figured out all the plumbing and all of that. Here's a good old DIY tile drawer cabinet, which I was just interested in showing this because I've never seen it be drawers. Like that probably took a long time. I don't think this person made it. She said that she found it or got it from one of her friends, but that looks like the heaviest table that has ever existed. Do I like it? Not really, but I just thought it was interesting because there's drawers. I've never seen that. This person made their own rug. That is a new hobby. For anyone looking for a new fun hobby to get into, I've been seeing a lot of people creating their own rugs. There's like this like kit or program that you can do to create rugs. And I think it's pretty simple once you have all of the materials and know what you're doing. But I like that she made her own rug. That's pretty cool because rugs are expensive and it just sounds like a fun project to do. I really love this specific, I guess it's a DIY. Basically, this person found like an old tag or an old piece of fabric and framed it. I think that's so unique and smart. If you ever come across like a weird old fabric that has like a cool print or design or yeah, an old tag or just some type of fabric that feels like it could be cool on your wall. So I like this DIY. Taking your own photos, getting them printed and framing them. That is the easiest way to get your own art without spending a ton of money. All you have to do is take a photo that you have taken and look at hers. Like one's a really beautiful scenery thing from a trip she was on, and then the other one might be like her friend or her sister or something. And you can go to FedExPrint.com and you can upload them and then go to Blueprint. And it's for architects who are literally printing their blueprint stuff, but you can print your photos on that and you can print them huge for so cheap. You also could get like regular printing and it still is decently cheap, but I think like for a big one like this, it might be like $250. Whereas if you get the Blueprint architecture prints, I think it's like $20. It's really thin, but once you frame it and put a back to it, you honestly can't tell. So A+ to this DIY. Another cool shelf installation, they did like the ceiling track bookshelves. I'm obsessed with bookshelves in unique spaces or just shelves in general. I talked about it at the beginning of the video of like framing the door or a window, but this person did it, wow, really going crazy with the hands, at the top of like their entry room. I just like the unique placements of shelves. So if you're looking to add something creative into like a weird wonky space, make yourself some custom shelves. Like this woman also did the same thing. She was like, I had this weird like nook in my son's room, so I made these custom shelves in this spot. And I think a lot of the times you really can make your own shelves for pretty cheap. You just have to be smart and measure things correctly. I thought this table was an interesting DIY. I don't know if I particularly would do this print. Like, I think I would have just kept it plain, but she was trying to do something fun and she likes the checker pattern. And I think it turned out pretty cool how she did like different stains of wood. I feel like if it was a different pattern, I would like it, honestly. I think the idea of playing around with different wood stains is interesting. So I do like it. Wow, I'm so kind today. And same thing with this painted lampshade. I like the idea of painting a lampshade. I don't think I love this pattern specifically. Maybe if it was a stripe, I would have liked it more. But I also like the idea of actually painting on your lampshade. The artist Laura Shawton, who I've talked about before, she painted one of those rice paper lamps, but I also think just painting any type of general lampshade can be really cool. So I really love the idea of this DIY, and I'm just not sure I like the actual pattern, but painting your lampshades, that sounds fun. If you have a sink that has exposed piping that you may not love, this person DIY'd their own cabinet around it. So smart. That is so smart. That wouldn't even be that hard to make this, to hide whatever it is you want. I guess it's a very specific sink that you would have to have that you could cover the piping, but very good DIY, very good. This tapestry, I don't even know if I would call it a tapestry. I actually like it. I think this is a unique way to put fabric up on your wall. I think she made it with string. I don't know. I'm kind of into it compared to, the general tapestries that I really despise. So I also give this an A minus. I do like it though. Let me know your thoughts on this, because when I saw it, I was like, I've never seen someone make a tapestry that's more straight and there's not like a weird moon in the knitting. Adding in your own wall, I think, is actually somewhat of an easy task to do. If you have a space where you're like, I need to divide this up. You have 2 kids that share a room. Why not build them a little divider for some privacy? Or you work from home now, and now you need like a little nook space for your office. I don't think it's that hard to build an internal wall, because then you don't need the insulation and like all the electrical and stuff. Like if it's just a wall, feels like a decently easy DIY. I don't know. I could be wrong, but this one I thought was cool because they needed a little wall and then they built it. That's how easy it is. Okay, that was fun. Some of my favorite videos are when people send me in either their decor or their projects or whatever it is I'm looking for. I love looking at what other people are doing because everyone has such good ideas that I've never thought of before. And now I really want to go thrift a lampshade and paint something on it because I think that would be fun. So let me know what you thought of this video. Do you like these interactive videos where I review subscribers' homes or talk about things that they have or have done? I don't know. I think it's fun to see what people are doing. There's only so much you can get off of Pinterest and, people that you follow on Instagram or whatever. Also, just wanted to quickly get your feedback on if I should post twice a week. Should I post twice a week? I've been trying to do that because I genuinely enjoy making these videos, but sometimes I'm like, are people like sick of me talking? Like, is that too much content to hear me ramble twice a week? And are the videos a good length? Do we like the 15-minute mark? Or I posted like a 30-minute one the other day. Do we like that? I don't know. Just asking for some feedback so I can be a better YouTuber come 2023. I feel like I'm just constantly talking. I'm like, people must be sick of it, right? I don't know. So yeah, now I'm going to go on a run. I think I'm going to go on a run because it's so nice out. My parents don't live too far from the water. So I'm going to run to the water and then I'm going to gaze out into the water and be like, wow, my life is what is my life, basically, is what I'm going to think. Then I'm going to be like, wow, I'm moving in a month, so cherish these moments. Sometimes I get sentimental. Oh, also, really random question, just really getting all of your feedback if you're even still watching. Do you like when I talk about other things other than interior design? That is the question. Goodbye.